Mega Man 2, the game of legends. The games I've heard so many good things about, and I can't wait to experience it for myself. So let's see what I'm getting myself into.
Alright, I'm taking over.
Oh wow, what do I owe the surprise?
Well, first, you made the mistake of saying I should have built the robots instead of stealing it from that loser Light. I helped build them so they're mine.
Yeah, I know. I made a note of that on the video. Did you not watch the video?
Oh well, doesn't matter. I'm taking over this story segment. I'm gonna tell the audience the real story.
You know what? Go nuts. This ought to be fun.
Yeah, well, after being robbed by that blue bastard, Copa.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Shut up! It wasn't fun! Anyway, after that, I made my own superior robots.
So, you're trying to tell me that Mega Man let you go after he beat you?
Yes! Yes, he did.
Well, this possibly couldn't be a recurring theme, I'm hoping. Anywho, and the first thing you do after he beats you is build robots.
Actually, the first thing I did was this.
I'm sorry I asked.
Anywho, this time no one's gonna stop me.
And your time's up, Wiley. Thank you for doing the story recap. I really appreciate it.
And I'll win. This I swear. Bring it on.
Alright, let's get into this. Okay, well, that was certainly weird. Anyway, let's get into Mega Man 2 fact before we start into the actual review. Mega Man 1 didn't sell well, and unlike definitive first games like Mario 1 and Sonic 1, Mega Man 1 didn't sell well, and Capcom was like, no, well, we're done with this. And, but they did allow the people who made the game to keep developing the game as long as it was on their free time. So Mega Man 2 was made with the free time of the developers and everything. So talk about dedication. So let's get into the review. And of course it wouldn't be a Megaman review if I didn't talk about the goddamn cover. What the fuck is this cover? Jesus Christ, it's barely better than the first one. Jeez, and look at the Europop version of the cover. What in God's name is wrong with Mega Man? It looks like he has something shoved up his butt. And it was Wily. In Europa? What do you mean European? Alright, Google, let's see what you gotta say here. Wow, look at that. Moon version. And I haven't even reached the gameplay yet. I really hope this is one of the only issues I have with the game. Let's move on. Well, when you boot the game, or in my case, for my PS4, not NES, you're greeted with Mega Man on a skyscraper. Doesn't make sense, but it does look cool, so I'm hooked. And you get a little backstory, and since Wally already explained it, guess we're moving on. Mega Man 2 more or less plays exactly like Mega Man 1. You're still jumping, you're still shooting, you're still being robot masters, and you're taking their powers, you still get to choose what order you get to do it in. But I guess there's one different thing. They removed the score system. You know, that completely useless thing that exists to take up space. You remember? Well, I guess it's not important. And now for control. Mega Man feels almost exactly the way he does in Mega Man 1, except the stages are well built for him this time, so no overabundant cheap deaths, but however, I still happen to die every so often. Oh crap. I'd love to talk about the cool things Mega Man 2 added in the 80s, but guess what it is? It's 2019, or if I don't get this up, it's 2020. Password systems are old. Let's be perfectly honest. We're in the day and age of save systems, save data. Sorry, password systems are just, they're not needed anymore. We got files, we got everything. Sorry. Sure, it was revolutionary back in the day, but it means nothing now. Hopefully I didn't offend anybody around that age group. But I'll be the first one to say, you guys rock. You've been playing this game for years and years, and you can beat it without using a rewind system like I did. I'm a newbie, so I'm 100% praise. Anywho, for those who are new, you pretty much had to adapt as you play, or use the rewind system like I did. But I'll be the first one to say, Mega Man 2 is way more manful. You get rewarded for playing smart. You get rewarded for playing dumb because of the rewind system. Ah, rewind. I'm gonna miss you when I play Mega Man X because it's not in there. Alright, time to list off the goodies. We got our E-Tank, basically the full restore to this game. Basically, he heals you from full. You can collect these while playing through the stages, but sadly you can only collect 4, but with these 5 Roll Masters, hard piece of cake. to the point where I barely felt the reason to use rewind. Really? Well, so Wily. Which brings me back to rewind. I'll be honest, I had very little reason to actually use rewind other than when I slightly missed a jump, or when I got to end game and I had to fight Riley without his weakness, or E-tanks. Trust me, it wasn't fun. The game isn't as punishing for me to use them, and not to mention the game throws lives at you like no tomorrow. By the end of my playthrough, I still had over 10 lives. Can you believe that? And I was even on hard mode. The only time I really end up using my rewind a lot was when I was fighting Woodman, and I honestly I just killed myself at the end of that one and just fought him again and killed him. Now, if you're still not sold on Mega Man 2, I guess 1, I'm doing a terrible job as a reviewer, and 2, you probably think this game's still too hard. Now, I'm going to tell you a nifty little feature they add in this game. A difficulty setting. So, you got normal, which is easy, and difficult, which is hard, which also could be normal in other cases. But the difference between the two of them is the damage done by your weapons and your Mecha Buster, and the weapons and item drops. You get a ton more in easy mode, while in hard mode you don't get them as much, which means again, this game is just saying play me, I'm the newcomer game, play me and have fun, which is something I can dig. And trust me guys, you're better off playing Mega Man 2 than Mega Man 1. Trust me, if it wasn't for reviewers code, I would just skip to Mega Man 2 automatically. But speaking of newcomers, we got new Raw Masters and new abilities to play around with. And unlike Mega Man 1, a lot of these have a lot more use than just beating the bosses. Flashman can be used to stop time, making platform easier. Though I wish you could turn it off or shoot while frozen. Or you could use it to beat Quickman a little bit easier. Can't Oko him, but you can definitely beat him a lot more easier. Quickman's weapon has a good ammo count and is reliable to hit enemies, unlike Cutman's weapon. But sadly, it doesn't compare to the Metal Blades, baby! It slices and dices and chicken fried rices. Once you get this, the Mega Buster doesn't exist. It's so powerful, it's Metal Man's own weakness. It 2-shots on difficult and it 1-shots on normal. With a crazy ammo count, you quite literally could go through a whole stage with only using Metal Blades and still have enough to beat the boss. Leaf Shield. It protects, but it also attack. It's not bad, but again, once you get Metal Blades, half these weapons don't really exist anymore. Atomic Fire! Heatman's weapon. It beats Woodman. That's it. You can charge it up, and it 1-shots Woodman. Well, on normal. 2 shots in difficult. Or you could just hit him with Metal Blades and he dies. I really have nothing else to say about this. Bowman's Bubble Lead. This actually has a lot more practical uses. Well, it has a lot more uses at the end of the game at the Wily Tower, because you could use it to fire off and then see what's a pit and what's not a pit. And it's good against the final boss, because I guess that's the one thing Metal Blades can't cut through. Yeah, go figure, huh? And Airman's weapon. It's good versus Crashman, and that's kind of about it. It's good when you use it in the stage, but I really do sound like a broken record. But Metal Blades, baby! Speaking, I grew up with the whole internet fad thing. I grew up watching that whole can't defeat Airman thing, and I still don't get it. He's not that hard. He's literally weak to the Mega Buster. I literally start off with him almost every time, and I beat him. He's not that hard. Why is he so hard? Woodman's harder, and that's because I let him be that hard. Could have just got the Metal Blades and chucked it at him and beat him. I gave him a chance. And then we finally ended off on Crashman's weapon. Crashman's weapon is really only good on Heatman's stage. It has a very low ammo count, so only using it for what it's intended, breaking walls, is what it's good for. But Robot Master abilities aren't the only thing Mega Man is packing this time around. After beating certain robots, you unlock the item numbers. Yeah, creative name, huh? Beat Airman, get item 2, a rocket ship that propels you forward and makes Heatman's disappearing block puzzle a joke. Seriously, Capcom, did you not realize nobody liked this? Because I certainly don't, and it's something that I realized they keep putting in the other Mega Man games. Beat Heatman and you get item 1, which allows you to summon platforms up to 3. Beat Flashman, you get item 3, which allows you to summon a platform that rides up walls. Now, all these items have all their uses, so don't worry, but honestly, my favorite is item 2, although I'm still sad that the Magnet Beam never came back. It's my favorite side item. I guess it wasn't to be. After defeating the Robot Masters and the Wily Fortress, we enter into what will be a Mega Man staple, the boss rush. In Mega Man 1, it was just stages that you played, and then you kind of just fought the Robot Masters in conjunction, like in between the stages. And this, instead of doing that, you just all fight them all at once in any order. And if you beat them during your regular playthrough, you can definitely beat them now because you have all the weaknesses on deck. So, regardless of difficulty, it is not hard. Speaking of difficulty, Wily is actually difficult to beat when you're literally stripped away of all the tools that make Mega Man OP. So no metal blades, no E-tanks. But when you do fight him with those, well... And I gotta say, the final boss isn't that hard either. Sure, it hurts if it hits you, but it has an easy pattern to follow. And once you defeat it, Wily does his impersonation of the Great Wizard of Oz.
Pay no attention to the evil genius control of the robot. Oh, buddies?
Say, did anyone notice that this is the second time Mega Man defeats Wily in a gray color scheme? Anybody? Is that just me? Yeah, I'm just looking too much into it. Anywho, after defeating Wily and letting him go again, Mega Man travels and reflects on his adventure. Well, I think he does. It's not really explained, then it just ends and the credit rolls. So maybe this gets explained in the Archie comics? Because honestly, this makes no sense, but it looks cool and the music's nice, so that's that. Well, with that out of the way, I do have to bring up issues with the game. There are a lot of issues, but there's still issues with the game. Well, first, remember when I said Crash Band weapon was mandatory for a boss earlier? Well, I wasn't joking. It's not as simple as just use the weapon and win. So you gotta use all of the weapon because Crash Band's weapon doesn't have a lot of ammo. So it's either win or die. And yeah, sure, when you die, you refill your weapon energy. You can just come back and fight the boss, and the boss still has all its battle damage earlier. But that's not the point. That's just super inconvenient for no reason. And then you just have this random dragon boss, which can only be hurt by your Mega Buster. And if it hurts you, you're most likely dying. Mega Man 2 kind of just plays it off easy, and then randomly hits you with the... Which in terms of video game design, I can understand, because also you don't want the game being too easy. But I think that's just a giant curve, a little bit way too high. Which I guess brings me up to the last issue. The Sprite Flickering. God, I didn't notice this while I was playing the game, but goddamn is it everywhere. And it's distracting. When I was rewatching the footage, it was everywhere. It does not look good. So it all said by me, Mega Man 2 is a damn good game. And I forgot to mention my favorite soundtrack, for this game has so many good ones. From the opening to the password, it's just music to my ears. But let's see, if I had to pick my favorites, I would have to go with Airman, Bubbleman, Heatman, and Wily Stage 1. So back to my minor complaints. It didn't really ruin my experience with the game, and how could I get mad when the people who made this game used their own free time to make it? And it's still fun. I highly recommend this to anybody who hasn't played the Mega Man before, and that's come from someone whose Mega Man's playing pass is about as crazy as explain the whole plot to Metal Gear. Whew, finally done with Mega Man 2. And I'm sorry to leave you guys hanging, but I got a castle to crash. So I'll see you guys later with Castle Crashers. I'm TheonecalledTnT, and don't throw up, get blown up. Ah, I'll never catch on. Ah, dang it. Ah, jeez. How am I gonna come up with a goddamn catchphrase?